This is Deep Soul. My name is Eboné with 92Q, giving you the amazing Trisha Alicia. Hi.
Hi.
We're so happy for you to come here.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy to get into your music because you are a local gospel artist that has her music is my inspiration. Her story is my journey. Your music tells my business.
Well, I mean, unintentionally so. We have a shared story.
Right, we got a shared story, and I love it. But we're going to get started with you being in gospel. That wasn't what you originally wanted to do.
No, not at all.
So how did that happen? What was you originally going for, and how did you get into music?
So I started off in chemical engineering. I wanted to make the most amount of money with the least amount of schooling. And when I found out that it was chemical and when it was engineering, I was like, we're going to find something in here that we can do. And that kind of was it. I was like, listen, I just want to make a lot of money. And I used to be stingy as a kid, but praise God, my grandmother helped me out with that. It was an effort.
I'm still stingy. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that was part of the motivation.
That's part of it,
of keeping my coins tight. So I started off with that. I actually got a degree in chemical engineering. So I technically am still a chemical engineer by trade, training background. And then when I got to Music City right after graduation, I don't feel like you can have any sort of musical interest and be in Music City and not like at least fall into it some way.
Some kind of way.
So I had been writing in New York and doing some studio stuff, and I kind of was dibbling and dabbling and, being creative. You know how it is when you're like around other students who just graduated. You don't really have direction. Everybody is like excited to go do something. We don't know what it is yet, but we're really excited. So that's kind of how it started. And then one day I got into the studio and we started actually aggressively writing and performing. And one thing kind of led to another. And it kind of came to that point where I said, I'm not married. I don't have any kids. I don't have to come home and say, hey, I quit my job today, honey. And they're like, what? You could just, did you not see this whole entire house? And you like the shop.
You made the right decision because you've done a great job as an artist. But I know you had a lot of naysayers, a lot of doubters. Like, I could not imagine coming home and just being like, so Mom, remember that high-paying job? Well.
Remember that thing you were proud of?
So how difficult was that?
Sorry, bye. On the career. So I would say that my mom, she was more concerned about my plan. Like, what is your plan? Because this was a great plan, and I didn't think I had to worry about you. I was like, great. I'm the youngest, so I felt like she was like, whew, we made it.
We made it.
We got everybody good. But so she was more concerned about the plan and making sure that like I actually had a plan. It was shocking for her, for real. She was like, "Is this a sabbatical? Are you going back?"
Sabbatical. I love that.
Yeah,
one.
It was that. That was a legit question. I think she was like, "Okay, yeah, surely."
She was trying to process
this makes
it any
no
kind
sense.
of way. She was gonna process it. It was gonna come.
Exactly. So when I was like, "No, this is what I'm trying to do," she was more so, like I said, concerned with the plan, making sure that I had an actual plan and that it was kind of, for the most part, as airtight as those things can be. Like you can't predict the future, but to make sure that I knew kind of and had counted the cost, I guess, as they say. But the thing that was most surprising for me, like outside of my mom and kind of getting her, I don't want to call it approval, because at the end of the day, you have to go live your own life and follow your own convictions. Just people who I felt like knew me well, whether they were close friends or family that I counted on, not really embracing that and not really getting behind me and like pushing me. And not that I needed them to say, oh my God, go out and do the miraculous or the impossible. But it's like when there's news coming out or if there's a show, it's like, oh, your show is today? Oh, I never went and looked at the video. Or, hey, can you go take a listen to this SoundCloud link of this, you have a lot of steps that music goes through. So it might be like mix 1. Can you go take a listen to this and just tell me what you think? I'm already kind of tentative because, I didn't do music in school. So it's a big leap for me. And I can see that they didn't listen to it because I changed the SoundCloud link and it was no feedback. And they didn't even realize that the SoundCloud link had changed.
They're just telling you things. Just keep your mind going.
Not even. It was like, oh yeah, I'm going to listen to it. And then they just never listen to it. So it's stuff like that where it's like empty promises. And those little things are like what I call like the breadcrumbs, like Hansel and Gretel. They had the breadcrumbs. They were supposed to come back home.
Right, yeah.
Those are like the breadcrumbs where you're like, man, they can't, give me $1 million to start this dream of mine. They can't, connect me with any major people who are with the Grammy Association or whatever. They don't know Timbaland. They don't know, Warren Campbell or any of those people. But what they can do, they're doing it. Mm-hmm. And when you don't see that, that's the part that's really, really challenging to try and, pick yourself up and kind of hold yourself together when the people who are closest don't even seem to be paying attention. Because it's like, if I can't get them to pay attention, how am I going to get a room full of strangers who don't even know me to pay attention?
It's a lot harder.
Yeah, so it's hard on the spirit.
It is. And you want them to support you, and they're trying to figure out what way. And it's like, it's so simple. Just, I need more than your verbal support. Just a like. A share, a heart, or something, a phone,
a comment,
right? And then they'll be like, "Let me get something free for you. Let me get something from free." Like, And you're like, you can't get a free CD, but you can buy something.
You don't go to the mall and go to Saks or go to H&M or whatever your store is and say, "Hey, can I get this shirt? Because I know you." They'd be like,
"Wait, what?"
I'm sorry.
It won't work.
Right. And I to this day, I still have people who are like, "Hey, I don't know if your mom told you. I was just trying to figure out if you could, mail me a CD." And I'm like, "Oh, she told me. She passed the message.
The message was passed. It's just not going to happen."
Right. I'm like, by this time, you could figure out how to stream it. Yep. I mean, even if it was a situation where you're like, "Hey, I'd love to," and I've had this happen, "I'd love to give your CD away to some teen girls, blah, 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 blah." I'm all for stuff like that. But when you know me, and it's been so many opportunities for you to support in any sort of way, it's very hard for me to want to feel charitable. Maybe this is bad, but it's hard for me to want to feel charitable when there are so many people who don't know me who are like, "Man, what? I know your CD is $10, but here's $20 because I believe in what you're doing."
If they can do that,
wow,
somebody that knows you can do that.
And it's not about the money, but it's the
not,
support.
But it's about that support. Some kind of physical action to go with the support.
Right.
And you gave a really great analogy about it from Pastor Williams of Church Messiah.
Yes.
What was it again? Can you tell us?
He said, your faith is like belief. It always has a corresponding action. So if I didn't believe that this chair would hold me, I wouldn't have sat down in it. I'd have been like, I'll stand. I'm good. Nope, I'm good. And that's the same thing with support. If you support somebody, then it has to have a corresponding action. It can't just be, "I support you," because thoughts and prayers only go so far.
You're right. That's where Pastor Williams has the most amazing things to say.
His analogy game is on point.
It's like, okay, Pastor, all right.
I think about my analogies just so I could be a little bit on point. Like, it's like this.
It's like that. It's like that. If Pastor will say it, that means it's something. It means it's something.
I try and tag in, just a little bit.
Okay, well, so you got away from that. You got away from the naysayers and the doubters, and you came on to Nashville, and you made some connections. Right. And what were some struggles other than making those connections that you had to go through as a gospel artist? Because people think gospel, it's easy, it's you're good, God got you, but there's so much with it. So much with it. It's like I have to still go through some things first.
Yeah, I would say personal development wise, a big thing for me was like, man, people went to school for music the way I went to school for engineering. And when I think about my engineering background and program and the fact that I had, internships all through college that prepared me for, this career, I'm like, God, how am I supposed to sing? Like this is crazy. I feel a little bit like this is Goliath in front of me trying to break through, and I'm just sitting here like trying to develop this sound because everybody's like, "Oh, you gotta have the right sound, and then you gotta market yourself right." And it's like, man, I have to absorb and learn all this information in this small amount of time because at the end of the day, I want to release a product. I want to, have something to show for these efforts. So that was one thing from personal development. But then the other thing was navigating a new city, knowing that if I was back in my home community, you know where to go, you know who people are, you can kind of do the family association thing if you know people who are in and around that industry. But being in a new place, it's like, man, who do I go to? Who do I trust? Because not everybody is trustworthy. And some people look at independent artists, especially new independent artists, as a meal ticket. And it's not that they don't have expertise. It's not that they're bad people, but they just feel like you're only going to go to a certain level. So be happy that I'm helping you and kind of we'll just see how this whole thing nets out. So just kind of getting to know who were the trusted people to go to, who were the pillars in the community that were really down for developing talent, down for independent artists, and then just absorbing knowledge and learning, like, okay, how does this city work as opposed to other cities?
Okay. All right, well, we have some more questions for you, and I'm super excited to get more deep into it on Deep Soul with 92Q. I'm Eboné. Be right back. We are right back with Deep Soul with Miss Trisha Alicia. So we was talking more about the journey and how did you come into Nashville and you being in a whole new environment, which is scary. And we want to, as Christians, we say God didn't give us the spirit of fear. So is that, what emotion is that called? What do you call it? Is it doubt? What is it?
Well, I had a lot of emotions.
Okay.
I had doubt. I had anxiety. I had like, I'm a very hard worker. And so I tend to associate like accomplishments with like me feeling good.
Right.
And not that I get my happiness from accomplishments, but like, you know, when you like to work hard and you like, man, I did that. You know, it's kind of like that sort of thing.
Like that.
Right, exactly. So I had to like learn how to disassociate the two, because there was a lot of activity that was happening before I actually released any music or got any accolades or anybody wanted me on any stage. So before that all happened, I had to figure out how to like be okay with all of this activity happening, all of this effort, but not necessarily seeing a response from it. So some of it was just like, okay, in the nothing. I don't know what that emotion would be called, but like all of that to me just goes back into fear, because I think fear, you're fearing the fact that like it's not going to be successful, or it's not going to work, or all of this effort is going to be for nothing. And I think regardless of if you're doing music or if you're starting a new career or even if you're starting a new family, you don't want all of your effort to just result in disaster.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing I think that is like challenging to, first of all, navigate deeply inside of who we are and like be real. Like, I'm a real person with myself. Like, sometimes I sit home and I'm like, man, like, I call it throwing the ball against the wall. Like, I just throw it against the wall. Like, is this what I'm feeling?
Right.
And if it comes back, it's like, no. But if you throw it and it just stays out there, that's what you're feeling. So like, go ahead and deal with it and be okay, and have somebody that is not going to like slap a scripture on it. Like, well, girl, like God didn't give that to you, so just move on.
Just move on.
No,
Right.
say, oh man, that sucks. Man, that's painful. Man, I can't imagine what you're going through, because some people are Me Too people. They try to one up you on your sadness.
Ooh, yes.
So not having friends that are like that, but having friends who can be empathetic and sometimes just listen, like, man, it sounds like it's a lot going on over there. I wish you could take a break, but you can't. So do something today to kind of get your mind off of it. But, you know, you got this. You can do it. You can keep going. It's not going to be a disaster. You didn't come this far just to come this far. So lots of that.
And all of this, your emotions and the realness that you have about just being open to the unknown, that you're like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how I'm going to feel. You put that in your music. You're like, this is the honest to goodness God truth. This is what's happening.
Yes.
And the amazing song I love, all of your music is great, but the one that really gets to me is Pieces, because it's so like, dear goodness, did she just go on my Facebook? Did she go on my wall? How did she find this information?
How did she find it?
But it resembles all that emotion that we can go through. And we want to just sweep it under the rug. All this negative, ugly emotions, that's not Christian-like. You can't show it. No, it's part of your story. It's a part of your journey. Yes. So I love how you make that important. And even with your new songs that we have coming out, that we're really excited for.
Let me just say this really quickly about Pieces. The one thing that I had to get over, like, I remember writing that song, and I remember talking to one of my friends, like, this is the second verse. Like, I think it's a dope second verse. Like, but this is a lot. And she was like, listen, the truth sometimes is ugly. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you can't show it in a beautiful way. And that, for me, was like, okay, you know, it is what it is, and this is as therapeutic for me, and so hopefully it's therapeutic for somebody else to say, these are the pieces, and sometimes you have to just let the light shine through it. Like, it's broken, but listen, this is the only way it can get out.
Yeah, and it's all about that. It's all about, like, to you it sounds ugly. To you it is ugly because it's what you've gone through. But to others, oh, it's a personal testimony. And that's what it's about. It's about making sure the message is clear so somebody else that's going through it can say, somebody's been through it too.
Yeah, it's not just
not
me.
just me. I'm not crazy.
Right.
For some people, they are crazy, but for others,
there's another song
for them. Right, perfect. All right, so you have some pieces was off of your last album,
yes.
But now we have Believer, and we also have Great Things, where you did a yin and a yang.
A yin and a yang, yes, because they're two different songs, and I think people hear a song like Believer because it is very urban and it has like these 808s in there, and it's just it sits right happily where it sits. And they're like, how can you go from, you know, this song that's so urban to this song over here that's so feel like it's Sunday morning? And I'm just like, the same way on Wednesday you might listen to jazz, and on Friday you're turning up to Migos. It's the same situation. Like, we sometimes try to compartmentalize ourselves and say, okay, this is the box I have to sit in with my creativity, with my career. If I'm an accountant, I can only be an accountant. I can't go dabble in marketing. Be you, live your life. God created you to be this complex individual, so stop trying to distill yourself to fit somebody else's dream of you.
And it also limits your own kind of passion. If you see that you can do all things, and God said do all things in Christ that strengthens me. Come on, and if you believe that means you can do all things. Right. So don't limit yourself or have others limit you. So I love that.
So that's the yin and the yang with Believer and Great Things.
And you had, I don't know, I call yin the red Believer. I've called that one yin. Yang. And then yang is pure soul.
I'm going to take that. So there's to bring you guys up to speed on my social media, there's this graphic that has the cover of Believer and the cover pose for Great Things, and they're very different.
Really different.
Yes, they're very different outfits. It's very different energy, and it's the intentionality behind the CD cover. Yeah. But that's how I described it: is the yin meet the yang, and we all have those both sides of ourselves. So.
But it's beautiful. I call the one in red, the yin. I call that one a soldier, and then the one in tan, the yang. I call that pure soul.
I love it because it's so like.
It's just, it's flowing. It's beautiful. And it's because those songs are, Believer, I feel it's like a march, you know?
Okay, I can see
You're
that.
marching for the Lord. And then you have Great Things where it's like, I'm going to just be free at heart. And I'm going to let it all here on the table. And because I know I'm destined for great things. And you're performing that today.
Yes, I am.
And I'm super excited. So we have a performance by you coming up really, really soon. So y'all stay tuned for an amazing praise-filled performance by Trish Alicia right here on 92Q.
Doubt me, but don't doubt God. We're two peas, one pod. Need backstory for the context and the content, so it makes sense. He says, say the sinner, walk in truth, stick with me, I got you. But what do you do when your whole life changed? Grab harder or loosen the reins. It's real life. Ain't no matrix. Give him one chance, that's all he needs. Nothing 99 to come get me. He answers when I'm calling, back support when I'm falling. No halfway, I'm all in. No halfway, I'm all in. Everything he said he do, he done it. Devil in the blue dress be so cunning. With him, I don't gotta be out here frontin'. Gotta get ready for the second coming. Cause when it go down like a pressure, can't beg to make the looking like what a good book that. Better start now following his footsteps. I'm a believer, you converted me. I'm a believer, your love set me free. And I'm never letting go, no, never letting go. No, never letting go, no, never letting go. Say, you tapped in or you tapped out. Coming with us or left out. Spontaneous, that maybe is, but his yes is definite. This what I do, I give power to truth. I'm stronger than demons that's out on the loose. Something from nothing and nothing above. On my love, on my love, on my shout from the roof. Gave him my life, I'm living right. The devil comes to steal the light, but best believe we shine too bright. I'm a witness that's living, cause I've been forgiven. The gifts I've been given, I'm giving thanksgiving. I trust him, yeah, my name is written. Everything he said he do, he done it. Devil in the blue dress be so cunning. With him, I don't gotta be out here frontin'. Gotta get ready for the second coming. Said everything he said he do, he done it. Devil in the blue dress be so cunning. Gotta get ready for the second coming. I'm a believer, you converted me. I'm a believer, your love set me Everything he said he do. Everything he said he done it. Said I'm a believer. Everything he said he done it. Everything he said he do. Everything he said I'm a believer. You converted me. Said I'm a believer. Your love set me free, and I'm never letting go. No, never letting go. No, never letting go. No, never letting go. Said I'm a believer. You converted me. I'm a believer. Your love set me free, and I'm never letting go. No, never letting go. No, never letting go. I'm never letting go. Said I'm a believer. Hey.
Jesus, you're there, believer, just everything.
Yes.
You just got my life. Got me
Well,
just, oh my goodness. If you're
trying
not
to song
saved
right,
by
just trying
that,
to song
I don't know
right.
what's going to do it. Because that right there, that was just
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you
So
so
what
much.
we have coming out, because we have the
Yes.
songs are out now.
Yes. Believer in Great Things dropped July 20th, so they're brand spanking new.
Oh, okay.
Stream
All right.
them, buy them, stream them.
Buy
I like them
stream
both.
them, yeah.
Yes, I'll take all of the above.
All the above. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you also have a performance coming up.
Yeah, so I'll be out of the Nashville area doing some stuff, but I'll be back in the Nashville area on August 11th at the all-white worship event that's happening. So Follow me on social media. You can get all the details.
You have to follow her. You have to go listen to more of her music, all on Spotify.
Yes.
And she's amazing.
Tidal, Amazon, Google Play,
right,
all that.
Right.
All that. It's everywhere.
This was amazing. This was amazing. Thank you so much
for
having
me.
I really
Absolutely.
appreciate you. Y'all, this was Deep Soul with Trisha Alicia right here on 92Q. I am Eboné. Y'all have a good one.